What a morning we've had. Good morning. Welcome to the Gym of All Trades channel. Glad you're here with me. We have had a nice little dump this morning, and I've been kind of watching it and waiting to make the video so that we can give you some up to date information based on what's been happening. So glad you're here. I want to talk about trading today, how to trade this, and market psychology as well, as far as how to handle these moves to the downside. And a lot of people have been asking me in the group this morning, is this a good buy zone? Is this a good buy zone? How do you know when to buy? So let's talk about those things: Litecoin, Bitcoin, and some market psychology, and how to enter trades and how to know what to do. So glad you've stopped by. Don't forget, I'm not a financial advisor, so this isn't financial advice. It's just teaching you how I trade, teaching you how I look at charts, and telling you what I'm seeing. And I do this on a daily basis. So if you haven't hit subscribe, go ahead and hit subscribe now. If you haven't liked the video, go ahead and like it. It's going to be good. You can do it in faith. Also, don't forget, we have a Litecoin swing trading community. I want to invite you here. Just search it on Facebook, Litecoin swing trading community. Answer all three questions. If you don't, you won't be invited in. But go ahead and answer all the questions, and you'll be welcomed into our group. This is a no spam zone, as well as a very, very friendly area. We enforce strict guidelines, and we kick out haters, and we kick out those who just don't know how to be in a community well. So it's a really nice community. You don't have to be afraid of being kicked out or whatnot. Just come be a great person, and you'll be welcomed here. You'll learn how to trade here. You'll learn how to look at charts. You'll get other people's opinions and ideas, and you'll be able to share yours. So I want to invite you here if you haven't joined already. All right. Don't forget my channel. You can go to all our previous videos. I have a teaching element as well through all of these videos, and so just kind of read the subtitles, read the pictures, and you'll know what's being taught in those. You should kind of scan the previous videos, because I do a lot of teaching along the way, and a lot of psychology teaching, a lot of just trade setups, and how to use RSI, what divergence is, things of that nature. So you'll learn a lot here in these videos. So I want to invite you to my channel, as well as just kind of browse the older videos. All right, let's jump into Litecoin. You can see here we're on the 5-minute chart. I've just been kind of watching it here on the 5-minute chart. I kind of watch it on the small time frame so I can see what these candles are doing, and I can measure them and whatnot. We can kind of measure what's going on here, because I like to nail my entries. I don't jump in just because I see things moving along too quickly. I'm expecting this push up to come up here about 110 to 112, and then I'm expecting another push down. 110 to 112 will actually square up this candle. A square up. What is a square up? Let's talk about what a square up is, and let's just look at that and why I'm expecting it. You can see how we have this consolidation zone right here. It's been kind of a steady consolidation for quite a while. Then this candle broke out. Well, a lot of times the market will come back to that area or close to it, to square that up, to get flat, so to speak. And here's the square up zone right here. If I drew a line right across there, that would be the square up zone, and that puts us right in that 110 to 112 zone. So I'm expecting a push up to about that yellow line, and then we should have another leg down. That's what I'm looking for today, and that's where I'm going to find my entry. So I did not enter on this last dip. Now, I could have, if I was wanting to trade this. I just didn't want to trade it. I was just not convinced of price action to the upside, and I could have, and it would have been a decent entry and a nice little trade. It would, I had the opportunity to get in at about 102. I was watching it, and I was like, oh. And I hemmed and hawed a little bit. I waited. It went up to 104. I had another really, really good opportunity. There was a little buy wall there at 104, and that would have been a great place with no spread to buy. But I waited, and I've just been kind of talking to people in our community. I know it's going to come back down. It will come back down. Do not fret. Do not fret. It will come back down. If you missed your entry, don't worry. It's coming down again. It will retest this area. It could go down further, or it may just retest this region right here. this low zone right there is probably where it's going to retest, somewhere about the 104 to 106. That's where we had our buy zone. If you see all these candles here, let me zoom in a little bit so you can see it. You see all these candles right here, all this price action in this area, as heavy buying and selling there. So chances are, when price comes up and then it comes back down, it's going to come back down to this 104 to 106 zone. That's going to be a potential buy zone unless price continues down to the downside. I'm still expecting price did wick down to 102.50. It front run. It created a front run on my target, so that makes me think that there's more downside to come, one more leg possibly. Nobody can know that, so want you to be aware of that. Let's take a peek and let me just talk about psychology here and how we know that that it's probably going to be another leg here. I'm on the 4-hour chart. I just want to go back. Let's just look at other places where there have been quick dips here. We had a 4-hour dip. This is a candle. Then we had a pullback here, and then we had another dip down. There was a second leg on a 4-hour candle. Okay, let's look at another place where there's a pretty heavy dip. Here's one right here. We had a really strong candle to the upside. Then we had a really strong pullback, and a lot of people thinking, oh, they're missing the boat and they're jumping in. Well, look what happened on the next candle. On the next 4-hour candle, there was indecision, and then boom, another candle down. Boom, another candle down. So there's not ever just one candle to the downside. It's always followed by a second leg or multiple candles. I mean, you could just go back over and over these. Okay, here's a push to the downside. It had a retrace and then another push to the downside. And so a 4-hour candle, a 4-hour trading candle to the downside, it's always followed by another 4-hour trading candle. You can go back in the chart, and I cannot find a place where there's a 4-hour candle to the downside and then that's the only candle you get. I just can't find it anywhere. So what am I saying? Some of you just a minute ago, price started just shooting up like crazy. I was watching it in Coinbase. Price was just going up like crazy, and some of you are thinking, "Oh no, I'm missing out. Price is going up, and I'm gonna miss the boat." And so what you did is you jumped in, and you jumped in at 107, 108, and now price is taking a correction to the downside as well. And so what you have to understand is that's what price does. Okay, that's the way price operates. Okay, there's going to be another sale. There was already a sale on Litecoin, and we've had a bit of a buy. There was a big buy push, but it's only going to be a temporary push. There's going to be another candle down. Now, whether that other candle to the downside is going to be lower, I cannot promise you. But I believe it is because my target really is down here on this red line. So I think we're probably going to do some sideways chop for a little while, and then we're probably going to end up coming down to the $100 mark. So wasn't a bad trade if you jumped in. Just make sure that you understand it is probably most likely temporary, and the bounce to 109, almost 110 might be all you get. I got a target at 111 and a target at 112.83. So those are my targets. You can see the price structure right here in my yellow line of death. It is not a line of death though, but it is a yellow line, and I just like saying that. So all right. So yeah. So just be calm in these scenarios. Now, when price comes back down, okay, when price comes back down, pay attention to price in the 104 to 106. You might see some bouncing there, okay, and you have to just make sure you don't miss your opportunity to buy at that point. Price may do a couple things. Let me talk about what I think price could do based upon what price has done in the past. First off, we got our push to the downside, okay. Let's get a different color here. Brush. Where are my settings? There it is. Couldn't find it on the chart. There we go. So price came down. Okay, it's rebounded. Okay, it might chop for a little while, but what it's going to do is going to probably come down to this area, and then it might go up from there. That's a potential. That is a shape you see all the time. Where do you see it? Well, here's where you see that kind of shape. Price came down. There was some chop. It came down right there, and then boom. Okay, so it's kind of like a backwards H shape. That's a common shape that you see in the market. Where else do you see it? Well, you see it right here. It came down, as it came back down, and then boom. Okay, that's not a very good. So price came down, and then you got this boom. Okay, where else do you see it? Don't do that. I cannot find. There we go. Right here, you got price came down, made this little H shape, and then boom. Okay, that's common. Okay, it's a W shape, an H, whatever, however you want to see it. You've just got this. You have an initial buy, and it goes up kind of fast, and it comes back down. And to me, for me, I don't want to wait through that down motion. I get in right here. That's where I like to get in. I get in on that second leg. Now I watch to see if that second leg is going to make a lower low. If that second leg makes the lower low, then I wait it out. Okay, and so you just want to be careful that you watch that as well. So I just want to talk to you about entering trades and price action and when to do it. I generally never try to enter on this first push because, listen, what if you get a second push and a third push down? So I like to wait it out. I want to wait. I want to wait and see that second leg. I want to see that retrace down to the down back to the retest the low, and then we'll see if it's going to make a lower low. We stay out. If it looks like it's going to bounce, that's when we jump in, and that's when I jump in the trade. I hope that was a helpful tutorial for you as far as thinking about that. If you missed something, like just rewind and look at it again. But you just have to stay even keel in your trading. Okay, you got to stay minded that the price will come back. Okay, the price will come back. Let me just remind you of how you felt right here when this was going up and up and up, and some of you got out at the one. We had a target of 127, 128. Some of you got out right here, and then price started shooting up, and then it made it to 144, and everybody's thinking, oh no, it's going to the moon, you're gonna miss. But I was saying along the time, I was saying in our group, and I was saying the price is going to come back. Price will come back. Say it with me. Price will come back. You have to get FOMO out of your mind. You have to get fear of missing out of your mind. You might miss a small trade. Okay, well, you might miss this trade. Oh, this trade right here. You might miss that. Okay, that up to the upside, and that's a good little trade because that was a $10 move, and that's a good trade with the right amount of money being traded. But you might miss that. But listen, you're not going to catch every little movement of the market. Uh, you want to catch that. So get it on the second leg. It's safer. It's better. Okay. Wait for clarity, but price will come back. Okay. So let me just remind you, price will come back. So mark my words. We are not going to have a 4 hour. We're not going to have just a straight up candle, 4 hour candle. And let me just get rid of those fibs there. We're not going to have a 4 hour candle that just does this, okay? And then you've missed out totally. So you have to get in your mindset. If you're not in this market right now and you see price creeping up right now to 110, 111, 112. And you're like, oh no, I missed the boat. And then you jump in at 110 and 111, 112 in there. Price is going to end up coming back on you, and you're going to be like, oh crap, what did I do? So wait it out, wait for it, wait for price to come back, and then that's when you're going to get in. That looks really creepy. Let me just get all that off the chart. There we go. Price will not do that. Okay, it's just not going to do that. Price will do this. Price does that. I mean, look. This is what price does. So what do? You wait for these pullbacks, and then you enter if you want to enter. You wait for those pullbacks. Okay. There's our market psychology lesson for the day. I might offer some more. Now let's look at the Elliott wave situation for this move and see what we can see. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit more to the 8 hour here. There we go. All right, let's see what's going on. Let's throw our fibs on here. This is our A right here, or our W. This is our X. We're making our Y right now. So we need an A, B, and a C. So this is our A, B. Now we need a C wave. Well, here we're getting it. Our C, okay. A wave is 5 waves. B wave is 3 waves. C is going to be 5 waves. Do we have 5 waves yet? Let's count them. So C needs to be 5 waves. There's 1. There's 2. Well, hey, Coco, what's up? There's my dog. He's coming to show me some love here. Let's see. 3, 4, and 5. That's what I'm looking for. Now, a lot of times A lot of times this 4 and 5 is really hard to see. You see how we had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right in there. It's really hard to count right in there. So know that sometimes that C wave is challenging. The 1, 2, 3 is easy to see. It's the 4 and the 5 that's often harder to find. So understand that. So we may get, I think we're probably going to get some movement back down here. You can actually see prices stalling at 110, and rightfully so. Because that is a fib level. It's also a retracement. It's a price. It's a retracement level there, and a fib extension level. So be aware of that. Okay. So I've got my A. I've got my B right up here, and then that puts our target right here at the $100.53. That's at the bottom of the structure. Let's do a green instead. This isn't a green line of death. I mean a yellow line of death. This is a green line of buy. Okay, this is our green line to buy. Let's go for some deeper. Let's see if we can count 5 waves in this third wave here. See if we can see that. Let's go to the 15-minute chart here. It was a lot of straight down motion here, but here's 1, 2, 3. Oh, I don't know. This might be 4 or 5. Having a hard time counting. Let's see. That's 1. Oh, there it is. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, let's go down to the 5-minute and see if there's any more detail to see there. But a lot of times with that straight down motion, yeah, that might be it right there. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's probably 5 waves. That's probably finished. Let's go to the 1 minute and see what's going on here. Yeah, you can see how the waves become clearer when you get down to the 1 minute. And then there's just that straight down push right there. There's a little finish right there, that up and then down. So that was the 5th wave of the third probably. This is probably the 4th wave of C, and then we're going to come probably down for a 5th wave. Most likely that's what I'm looking for. Let's throw the fibs on this move, and I think I already did that at the beginning. Let me just do it again. Remind you of those targets. You can see how we got an A, B, and now we made a C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're finishing up right here, guys. 110.38. Probably going to see a move, most likely to the downside from here. That's what I'm thinking. It's going to be moving to the downside from there. If you watch this and you check and see what happened. Look at that. Look at price. Look at that. Boom. Come on down. All right. What else are we, guys? This is why you have to learn Elliott wave and have to understand what patterns there are. I mean, I do this all the time. You watch. There's just repetitious movements in the market, and you just watch. I've watched price so many hours, and I've looked at charts so long. You can just see these patterns, and the Elliott wave is a great way to interpret them. Really is. So again, my buy zone here is still. We're going to move my buy zone down here to the green line of buy, and about $100. There is another target. Don't forget, there's another target down here at $90.63. So if that is a possible target, but I think we're going to get a substantial bounce. I think this is a temporary bounce. I think we're going to get another move to the downside. I think we'll get a substantial bounce from the one-to-one extension at $100. We have to watch what Bitcoin is doing. So remember, don't forget. And you can see how Bitcoin's looking. And let's just take a peek at Bitcoin here just for a second. I want to just show you what it's doing. It had a move to the downside. It reacted. There's a push to the upside. But look, it came back on you. Okay, so I mean, it moved $400 right there, and then it's come back. It looks like it wants to come back, but this might be our H shape, so be aware of that. This might be, our backwards H, and this might be doing this. That's a possible, and that's basically an ABC is all that is. Or this has to finish on. This has to finish coming on down, and then it's going to go up. So understand that. I'll look at targets here for BTC here in just a minute. Okay, so these are our targets. We've talked about what price is going to do in here, so pay attention to what price does in there. But don't freak out and don't make a rush decision. Okay. All right. What else can we look at here? what are we looking at after that? Well, we'll have to watch and see what price does at $100 or $90. We'll see what price does there to get clarity on our account. But if we end up breaking 90, then there's something deeper that's going to be going on, guys. It's going to be something very much deeper. We'll talk about a different count then. I'll have to reassess my Elliott wave count. But right now, I'm thinking there's going to be pretty good support at the $100 to $90 range. Let's look at structure and see what our structure is. You can see, excuse me. You can see right here we had a peak. We had a peak here. We had a peak here. So there's a lot of structure in this area that is supporting price. Okay. So yeah, this is why we got the bounce here. This is why we got the bounce right here in this region. But again, and it's a possibility that we don't make it to this low. But I think we're going to hit this low. This 96, even this structure zone right here. Let's put a secondary buy, a green line of buy right here at that structure zone, $98. Yeah, if we wick down below that, that's a really great buy for you. So yeah, I'd be looking for buys here because really this $90 market, it's this structure zone right here. I You can see that structure zone here, so that's what this is doing. So if we don't get a substantial bounce here, it's going to come down, and it may bounce in here and be a nice little trade and then back down to $90. So we'll have to do the Elliott wave count, see what price is doing. We'll see what the wave extensions look like over the next several days. Okay, so there's Litecoin for you. Let's look at Bitcoin. Let's zoom out and see what's going on. All right, we've had our move to the downside, and so I threw the fibs on this. Here's our A, here's our B, this is our C. I called yesterday. You got about 13,100, 13,200. I said in the video, look it up. I said that would be our bounce point most likely, and certainly that's what it was. I did say we had a possibility to come up here to the 13.8. That's the 1276. But in this market, everybody's front running everything, so everybody's looking at that one-to-one extension right now. It has been a bullish market, and so everybody's anticipating that first target. It doesn't seem to be making it to the second target very often, to the 1276, but it may still. Why may that happen? Well, because we have look here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That might be 5 like that. So this might be the 4 wave, and then we come up for 5. I need to change the size of this, just too big. Let's go to minuet here. I don't like minuet. Let's try minor. That's fine. So that's a possibility. This is also a possibility that was 4 right there, and this is 5. Why am I counting 5 waves here? Because this is A, B, C. C needs 5 waves, but the wave division looks better like this to me. This looks like a 1 wave, clearly 2 wave, and then we got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the 3, 5 waves in the third wave. Then we've got we're going to have 3 waves in the fourth, coming down, possibly down here to the one level of the 1. Or yeah, and it actually did wick down there. Let me zoom in and show you that. Get the RSI off the screen there. Show you wick down. It did. You can see this wick came. It didn't quite come down to the level of that 1 wave, but it doesn't have to either. But it could. Let's see. It just can't break the level of the 1. Let's measure that third wave. You can see that we came down to the 50% mark, so that might be all we get there for Bitcoin. There could be a push to that 13.8 mark, so that's what I'm looking for potentially, as if we don't continue down. So what do we look for here? And let me do a yellow line of death here at the 1 level there. This is going to be a yellow line of death, guys. So if Bitcoin breaks this yellow line of death, then it's going down deeper from here, much deeper. Okay, you say, how much deeper, Jim? Well, good question. Glad you asked. If it breaks that yellow line of death, we're going to be coming down. This would be A. This would be B. We're coming down to the $9,200 mark, roughly. Let me get this. Actually, let's get that right on it. I didn't do a very good job. There we go. $9,000 and 9,001.68, or the $7,800. So we're looking at that 9,000. Remember, I was talking $8,800 a while back. It's kind of the way this has retraced. It's looking more like 9,000 to 7,800. So that's our target zone here for Bitcoin. If we break that yellow line of death, if that's broken, we're heading down. Now remember, waves don't come straight down. Remember, there are waves, and so we should expect a move. We should expect an ABC. We should expect an ABC move to the downside like this. So it's gonna go down, then up, then down, and in this wave it's gonna be choppy down to the downside. So understand that we might get a pullback. So if we don't make a new high, if we make a new high, I'm expecting 13.8 to be the top, right around 13.8. Should be the top, which is right around our structure here. If it goes up for another high, if it doesn't, if it doesn't make that other high and comes on down, it's got to break this yellow line of death, and then we're looking still at that $9,000 to $7,800 mark for a deeper correction. That would complete our WX and our Y. Remember, a WXY is an ABC followed by an ABC followed by an ABC, generally a 333, and that's not the only way WXY can be made, but that's generally what we're looking for. All right, so I think I've covered everything I want to cover today. I guess the big takeaway today is don't freak out, don't jump in when price is moving high. Wait for those pullbacks, okay? So wait for those pullbacks. Let's look. Let me remind you of the areas that we need to be looking at for a pullback. We want to be watching for the 104 to 106 region in that and see what price does. I'd like to see it break this low for one more move to the downside. My ideal buy zone is right here well, I've got a buy zone here at 97 to 100. I've got a box covering my yellow line of death, or my green line of buy. So yeah, my ideal buy zone is $100. That's where I'd like to buy, maximize my potential. So yeah, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. If you have any questions, leave comments in the section, in the comment section. Don't forget to share some love. Please keep me encouraged. I'm making these videos every day, and sometimes I feel like I'm talking to myself. So, hey, talk back, okay? All right. You guys have a fantastic day. Trade safe, be smart, and we'll talk to you later.